I'm Alex David, and I think you would describe me as classic New Yorker, born and raised in Brooklyn, and effectively, I help and support 900 financial advisors who have their own businesses from Maine all the way down to Virginia. In addition to that, I have the privilege to be the chairman of the board for an organization called Quad A, the African American Association of Financial Advisors. We started about 25 years ago. We've got about 9,000 members. I think I've had relative success on Wall Street. I'm the youngest of 5 siblings. Fell in love with math maybe in the 3rd grade, and folks who were amazingly influential in my life were my 2 older brothers, Dan and Tim, combined with my mom, the hardest working woman I know. There was also a gentleman, his name is Mr. Benny Ross, and he was like the neighborhood father for all the fatherless boys. This man had the biggest heart in the world. I had a really good childhood, frankly. Those 3 things, my family, Mr. Benny Ross, as well as growing up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, those are the 3 things that I think have made me today. On my career journey, I was in finance, I was a wholesaler. I eventually got my master's in international economics, I got a doctorate, and I was giving these talks, and things were great. I was appointed to the board of directors for the National Black Chamber of Commerce. And so I was always around Black entrepreneurs. But the more I would talk with them, the more they were influencing me. I actually left corporate America. I bought a couple of restaurants. And at the same time, I was still working kind of part-time, if you will, at the New York City Bar Association as an economist. But really, my main income was to come from the restaurants. And things worked out wonderful. I mean, it was no issues. Until 2008, the financial crisis. And that's when all those customers stopped coming in. And I lost everything. But one of my former clients says, why don't you come back into business and work for me? And that's how I got back into the business. One of the things I always tell entrepreneurs to prepare for any possible downside issues is you can't ever anticipate every single catastrophe. No one could ever have anticipated COVID. We didn't see that coming. We didn't see 2008 coming with the financial crisis. But the one thing that I do know is cash. Entrepreneurs, before going into it, say to yourself, do I have a cash cushion? And so I would say the number one thing that I've learned in being an entrepreneur is try to save up as much as you possibly can. Ideally, it's 6 months, maybe 9 months, but in reality, that's difficult to do when you're starting a business. I get it. But at least 3 months, because I think that will certainly help shore up any shortfalls or any catastrophic events that you simply didn't see coming. But I would also say, I think it's really important for entrepreneurs to start thinking about retirement. What I have found is they often are working so hard and they look up and now they're in their mid-50s, maybe late 50s, maybe early 60s, and now they start thinking about retirement. And many times, the number one asset for retirement is time. So you need time. And so I always say, think about it in a concurrent way, not consecutively. As you are paying off the mortgage, sending the kids to college, starting your business, and saving for retirement. It's just being disciplined to systematically do it or save every month or every quarter or every week. That actually accounts for more of your results than the product or the performance. If you simply commit yourself, the markets are up, the markets are down, just commit every single week or a month or quarter. It's called the dollar cost averaging. And the neat thing about entrepreneurs is if they do it right, they have this wonderful thing that most people don't have. It's an asset, which is their company, which is their business. Research does show, in fact, that African American as a whole tend to be behind their white counterparts in terms of saving and investing in their wealth. and I would even say almost every demographic in almost every socioeconomic level. If you take a white executive and a black executive, that white executive tends to have more. And so why is that? And I do believe it is the mindset that we're still dealing with that. And the reality is it's all right. Um, there's an intimidation factor of investing because many people, particularly when this is the first time you have actually money to invest, the last thing you want to do is risk it. So you say the safest thing to do, put it in a bank. And yes, you should have a bank account, you should have a level of savings there. But in terms of really building wealth for yourself and for your family, you really do need to get involved in the markets. But you don't need to do it alone. When you find someone as like-minded, they will walk you down the path to investing. And so I always encourage every Black African American family that I meet, just start. It's all right to be intimidated. I was intimidated. Everyone was at some point. Don't worry about it. Just start.